Good evening. Welcome to 5 Minutes Uncut. I'm Delvin Sadler.
This is Knowledge Based KT.
Yes, this week we want to thank the fans for watching all the episodes. Clearly, we would like for you to share, subscribe, and like. Indeed, the show is going well. Would you say?
You don't know the show outshot.
Alright. So, we want to tell the fans that we appreciate your comments, so please leave your comments in the comments section, or you can email us at 5minutesuncut@gmail.com. Now, let's get into today's show. Knowledge Base, you ready?
I'm born ready.
Alright, the first question I have for you today, Knowledge Base, is Asafa Powell the most prolific 100-meter runner of all time, considering that he's just got into the Guinness Book of World Records for the most sub-10 100 meters, sitting at 97 so far. What's your take on Asafa Powell, Knowledge Base?
Well, Asafa Powell athletically is one of the greatest sprinters that have ever lived. One of the greatest that ever come out of Jamaica. He's overshadowed by the great Usain Bolt. In fact, every athlete is overshadowed by Usain Bolt, notwithstanding. Asafa Powell has dominated the sprints, and in another era, he would have been written down as one of the greatest of all time. Yes, he has ran under 10 seconds multiple times. And how I see it is that he should be a model and try to go into that realm. That should be his legacy and not this athletic thing. He, on the championship level, never live up to who he is. The man has great bursts out of the blocks, can sustain, but in between the ears, there was a situation there. I don't know what how to assess it, but I was a fan. But I've lost my fanship, if you want to call it that, where Asafa Powell is concerned. So I do have a bias. I recognize his accomplishment in the Guinness Book, but I'm highly disappointed with how his career turned out. How do you see it?
You see, I'm a great fan of Asafa Powell, in spite of, not because of, and I'll tell you why. Every time Asafa Powell shows up in the blocks, you can expect great things from him. In fact, he is the most prolific 100 meters runners of all times. And if you want to look at body of work, under 10 seconds, 97 times.
Well, most people might say that is because he goes after the money and not after championships. So he goes out to these meets and he goes there and try to get the money, and he's not really a champion.
He's a businessman.
Well, to each his own. There are several things that drive several people, and it doesn't appear that championship and that inner zeal to go after it when it counts drives us off.
Alright, when it counts, he puts people in the stands. People show up to watch him run. So therefore, he's a big draw in the business. And when he comes, he performs. You can expect a good result from him. For most of the time, it's first place. Most of the time, it's under 10 seconds. So he gives the people what they came to see, a show.
The only credit I would give to him, and the only credence, and this is his legacy, the man is a big bad old gallus. And that's what I would give to him.
The girls love him.
The girls love him. And no matter how you twist it, turn it, be a player hater, the man is a Guinness.
But you must admit, knowledge base.
Mhm.
97 times under 10 seconds. Nobody has ever done that.
Well, you have to call it what it is, but how I see it, if you haven't won on the big stage, you're a nobody as far as I'm concerned.
Alright, so let me ask you this knowledge base. Like, before Asafa Powell start doing his thing, I think that was what, 2003, 2004. Okay? The sport itself needed somebody to lift it up. Here comes this Asafa Powell, clean Asafa Powell, starting to make this thing look so easy. I mean, you have to give him credit for the transition from that doping era to making the sport relevant again. You have to give him some
I
credit.
give him some credit, but I'm just telling you that between the years, there was some deficiencies there with respect to showing up when it matters for the country.
So you're saying as a championship caliber athlete, to show up when the world championship matters or the Olympics, he wasn't there. That's what you're saying?
That's what I'm saying, 100%.
Well, he wasn't, but you must give him credit for what he did. You know what I mean? A great performer.
There's an asterisk beside that, and it will always be there.
Well, I mean, you know what I mean? It's the Tracy McGrady kind of thing, but...
Don't get me started. Well, anyway, that's 5 minutes.
5 minutes already. On to the next question. Okay, knowledge base. The second question for you today is going to be a question that I'm looking forward to hearing what's your take on. And that is the Black Lives Matter movement has any relevance today in today's society?
As far as I see it, it has some relevance, but they need some marketing change, if you, for lack of words. Black Lives Matters, by definition, if you take it as for what it is, it's saying my life matters because I'm black. Yes? But if you say that out loud, for the person who do not understand, they would say, then what about my life? So I think maybe you need to rebrand what you're saying. Instead of calling it Black Lives Matters, you should call it My Life Matters. Yes, historically, they've been putting down black people. Historically, yes, they've been lynching black men in the street. Historically, black man has been facing it left, right, and center. Yes, that is out there. But this group, yes, they mean well, but I think they have some marketing issues and some promoting issues. You can't, this name Black Lives Matters basically alienate a lot of people, and it basically disenfranchise a lot. And you are this disenfranchised group. So now you are trying to fight for why you are relevant. And if you want to twist it, turn it, whatever you want to call it, yes, you need to change the branding of what you call yourself. And the relevance of the group, it does matter. It does make sense. There are people out there of the darker hue who are facing it out there. I personally, and I'm of the darker hue, as you can obviously see, I've not had that situation or basically encountered these things. Maybe I'm getting older, so I'm not being harassed by police. However, I'm not saying that other people aren't. I'm not saying that people aren't being brutalized. But the group, if you want to be taken seriously, I think you need to change the name and rebrand yourself. How do you see it?
You know, knowledge base, you know, if you follow the history of this Black Lives Matter movement, it's a new movement. And it stemmed from the US where they had these protests for what they call police brutality against black men. It started with from the Trayvon Martin situation to the Michael Brown and so on and so forth. So people came out in the streets and they protest. However, they started movements before that when they had the Tea Party movement on the right. And they countered that with what they call, what that Wall Street thingy that they had.
Occupy Wall Street.
occupied Wall Street, and that was a failed movement.
We want free stuff. When do we want it? Now.
Anyways, so that didn't work. So the left had to come up with something to counter what they perceived as police brutality in order to organize those gatherings.
You stop right there. So what you're saying is that these people are not being brutalized? Is this a farce? Are you saying that Black Lives Matters does not matter?
I'm saying, oh.
Yeah, what exactly are you saying? Seriously.
The organization that they created called Black Lives Matter, to me, what they're trying to do, to me, in my opinion, is to bring us back, rather than to take us forward.
And by us, what do you mean?
I mean, as a nation, we have grown together.
What do you mean by a nation? You mean
People
like
nation.
people nation?
The human
Human nation.
nation. The races has never been more together than before.
So what you're saying is that black men are not being brutalized?
No, they're not being brutalized in the mass. If you want to say brutality, I would say that we are brutalizing ourselves.
Yeah?
Yeah, if you look
Also.
at Chicago, we're killing each other by the numbers and nobody's talking about that. If Black Lives Matters really matters, then you would talk about black violence against black violence rather than looking at the isolated situation between the police and the interaction of black people.
But
Simple.
But Delvin, to be honest with you, and I'm sorry to counter this, you have white and white crime, and I hate to use white and
Talking about
black.
Black Lives Matters.
Yeah,
not
but you can't
race.
use that point.
Well, why I can't use that?
Because white people kill white people, black people kill white people.
Yeah.
People kill people.
We're just
people are people.
Yeah,
What
come on.
I'm saying is that it appears that these people of the darker hue are being ostracized. In some cases, they're being killed by law enforcement. And these people, these black, white, it doesn't matter what your shade, you pay these people salary. So at the end of the day, if you pay someone salary, you expect service.
No.
What I'm saying,
I'm gonna cut you off because
Yeah.
the Black Lives Matter movement is anti-police.
in some sense, yes.
All the time.
All the time?
All the time.
And why
they
is
don't
that?
even want to see police.
And why is that?
I don't know. Police are here to protect us, aren't they?
Well, if I can't speak for these people
Listen,
because I don't
all
live
right.
in their realm, but it appears based on the footages that I've seen that these people, their situation is related to the fact that they're being taken advantage of.
I don't think so, because if you look at when these like isolated killings by a few members of the police force on these black men happen, what happened is that the police actually held back from these communities that were violent prone, and then what happened? Crime just went through the roof.
So
Right? So clearly this community needs to be cleaned up.
no, what it says is that these communities need to work with the police.
Of course they do. I agree with you on that point. But what I'm trying to tell you is that if you create a movement to say Black Lives Matters, it should go beyond just targeting the police as the problem, but rather than looking to the big, broad-based
There
aspect
must
of
be an
it,
issue.
that there's
These
something
people-
wrong in the community as
These
well.
people would just get up and just start this movement. Are they giving out free money when they say Black Lives Matters?
Listen,
They're trying to be sensational to basically get money.
no, it's a
What-
political ploy.
it's a political
It's
ploy.
a political ploy.
But if you want to call it that,
that's a deep-rooted aspect
if
of
these
it.
people really are interested in improvement and advancement of people of the darker hue, I think they need to change the name. I think they need to rebrand. It should be, if you want everybody to pay attention, it should be My Life Matters. So if it's My Life Matters and you see a whole bunch of black people on your TV screen, then it will get to people's social consciousness. But I think we have elapsed 5 minutes there now.
Yeah, we have elapsed 5 minutes, but I think that this group, think about what you're doing. Please, on to the next question. Hillary Clinton has emerged She has blamed her loss for the last election to FBI Director James Comey, and Russian meddling. Is she correct in her assessment?
She's full of farce. She's full of caca. Poo-poo. Listen, this woman was a flawed candidate from day one, and the Democratic Party should be ashamed of themselves to put this woman up. And it seemed like it was some bully or force feeding that was given to the American people to say, okay, we need our first woman president. But this is not the right woman to be the president. It has nothing to do with the things that you have listed in your question. It has to do with her policies. And she's been in government for 30 years, and she doesn't have much to show for what she has accomplished. Most of her whole thing, and I hate to sound like, the opposing side, it's pure corruption, and crony capitalism, if you want to call it that. So, Madam Clinton, I strongly believe that you weren't the right candidate, and the people voted for the lesser of two evils, and we'll see what Mr. Trump has to offer. But I think the American people did the right thing based on what was offered to them between you and Mr. Trump. How do you see it?
Knowledge base, you and I agree with this situation 100%. And I'm gonna just go a little bit deeper into it, because she was running on Obama's legacy and Obama's coalition that he has formed for her candidacy to be successful.
Mm-hmm.
But what she didn't understand is that she and Obama were two different people. She forgot what she actually did to a lot of Obama supporters by calling them super predators.
Oh,
she
yes.
thinks that people forgot all of these things.
She's a predator.
She forgot that what she did in Benghazi.
Mm-hmm.
That people remember that, the ambassador actually died on her watch, and she was responsible for that by not providing the proper security. She thought that she was clear sailing to the presidency because she had all the celebrities in her corner to say, yes, this is the person that we want and all that, realizing that actually people actually vote.
No, they don't vote.
People actually cast their vote.
In her mind, they don't vote. I tell you that you need to vote. I am in charge, not you. Your vote, that doesn't count. What are you talking about? What exactly are you saying? I decide what happens here.
Hillary does?
Yes.
She was telling the people to vote?
Yes, she
well,
says.
The people showed her. The people actually showed her that they go inside of the booth and they cast their votes, and they did not vote for you. Oh. She's going to say, okay, I won the popular vote. But that's not the way the voting system in America works.
The Electoral College decide.
And they did decide. Now she's going to say, okay, it's the director. What did the director just did his investigation?
So do you think she has any political win sale, if you want to call it that? Can she make it into 2020?
I said, go to your bed. Go and take a nap. Your time has expired. Give somebody else a chance to rebuild the Democratic Party. And hopefully there can be some fairness in the selection of the candidate that the people can actually vote for, and their votes will count.
What would you think Bernie was bamboozled?
That was a big travesty against Mr. Bernie. But we're going to have to deal with that situation totally different from that, because we're going to have to look into the voting system of America, especially the Democratic Party, to see whether or not fairness was done in that election with their superdelegate system. Because clearly, Bernie blew her away with the popular vote, so I don't know how she ended up being the winner anyways.
It's a travesty. Travesty. But I think that is 5 minutes.
It's 5 minutes and it's a farce. They need to get rid of Hillary. Okay, knowledge base. This is the fourth question that I have for you. And
Ask me.
you know, in America,
Mm-hmm.
there's an opium problem currently.
Mm-hmm.
All right, you've heard of it?
It's not only in America, you know, it's in North America.
It's in North America.
Mhm.
Okay, my question to you is this knowledge base. What is the source of this opium epidemic in America?
Well, opium has been in America since the 60s, or long before that.
Yes,
But
from
there
the
was an
30s.
epidemic. The last epidemic that we had was in the 60s. And it so happened that it coincided with wars that we have in different regions of the world. In the 60s, 70s, particularly in the 70s, during the Vietnam War, we had an opioid epidemic. And it just appears that this thing is repeating the fact that we've been in Afghanistan now for 11 years. I don't know how these drugs are getting over here, but we don't have any poppy fields in the middle of America. So obviously America do not produce the poppies, so it is being exported into America. But what it's doing is devastating the landscape of the American young people. A lot of people are addicted to these terrible drugs, and it's a very terrible drug. It's ruined lives, it ruined families, it put people into jails, both for the dealers and the users, because these users, you know, they'll sell their souls to get the drug, and as such they do not think about what they're doing, so they break into people's houses, and you have a social decay. This drug is wreaking havoc in America. To pinpoint who is the source of it, I can't say, but one would speculate that it's coming from Afghanistan. How do you see it?
Okay, let me just shed a little bit more light on this opium epidemic. First, it started out with the opioid epidemic. That means people were addicted to prescription drug. Remember, they had a big prescription drug problems, oxycodone and oxycontin.
Oh yes.
In those drugs, you have opioids in it, like opium, like that they use to make it. So what happened is that actually that the drug oxycontin or oxycodone, it's a painkiller.
Oh yes.
So people, you could have gone to the store and purchase it as prescription drugs. So what they in Florida, it was a big problem. So what happened? They had like express selling of the drugs. So a lot of people used to go to Florida in droves to purchase these drugs. So the government came in and they regulated and they wiped out that black market aspect of that drug. So guess what? People who are addicted to the prescription drug had the addiction still. So they had to get a drug either to go into rehab or to find a replacement. Hence, the wars came, Afghanistan, the poppies from there, the soldiers probably bring it back or found a way out to bring it to America. And then the people now gravitate to opium because it was cheaper to get. And they could get it in more abundance. Hence, addiction of the mass. So the problem is how to get rid of it. This opium addiction, because now it's the drug that they're turning into. I don't know how to get rid of it.
Legalize all drugs. All drugs should be legalized. All drugs, you should have the ability to use any drug you want. If you enforce...
What are you saying here?
What I'm saying is that you need to
They kill off the society?
No, you don't have to kill them off. They kill them off every day with alcohol. I'm drinking alcohol right now. I'm destroying my liver right as we speak.
Okay.
Yes.
So you're saying legalize all drugs?
Every single one. Who is man to decide what should be consumed and what shouldn't be consumed? All government is illegal. The drug should be legal. What you need to do is to put in regulations so that children and such shouldn't have access to these drugs. But
Knowledge base, I don't agree with you.
You don't?
No, I do not agree with you.
Then give me your point.
No, the point is this. You want an addictive society?
Never said that. You asked me
But
how to
that's
fix
what's
the problem.
But that's what's going to happen.
No.
Why is okay? Tell me why it wouldn't happen.
It won't happen because in the cases of cigarettes right now, we have situations where we create laws and alcohol. Only people over the age of 18 can consume this. When the government have access to monitor this drug, we can actually water it down. But if you leave it out there on the illegal market, then people can just consume what they want, right?
So people.
So what we're saying is extra regulation. This is the only thing I would say, let the government decide.
So have you seen a few people that are stoned with these drugs like
I've seen footages.
cocaine and opium and all that?
I've seen footages, yes.
You would want to trust one of these persons in a car?
I'm not saying that. What I'm saying
But that's
is,
what's going to happen though. They're going
How
to
do you
use
know
it
that?
and...
but
they're
people
addicts.
use alcohol and drive vehicles today. So
Yes.
what you need to do is to enforce it.
Yes, but...
Send these people to prison if they break the law.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. You know we're going to have to expand on this another time because there's not enough time for it. But I would really want to pick your brain where this is concerned. An addictive society.
I'm not saying the society.
You know how many
should
drugs
be-
are out there?
Thousands of drugs. But what we need to do is to monitor these drugs
How are you going to monitor that now?
by having a drug repository. You come to the repository area and I give you drugs.
And you just do something?
Yeah, man, juice up. If drugs is
And
what
get
you
in a
want.
car after?
No.
Stay there until you're
Hopefully
sober?
they take public transportation. But if they don't, then we'll lock them up.
Alright. That's why you're knowledge based, you know. Let's move on to the next question. Alright, knowledge base. We're gonna move on to the last question here. And this question here, it's interesting. I want to hear your take on this, you know? Alright. This is in the religion section because we haven't touched it in a while. Emperor Haile Selassi of Ethiopia, is he Earth rightful ruler?
Earth rightful ruler?
As per the Rastafarians.
No. This short answer is no. How does he own Earth? Earth is for every man that walks Earth. And as far as I see it, he's a man. If the Rastas believe that he is God, then that's their prerogative. Well, they have to show us evidence that he is God. So what evidence do they have that His Imperial Majesty Emperor Haile Selassie I was God? Because he's Prince Tafari. Is that it? And the Earth rightful ruler of which Earth? All the Earth? Or just Africa or the Caribbean?
He's the conquering line of the tribe of Judah. Earth rightful ruler.
Rightful ruler for whom?
For the world. The world.
So where is Imperial
A
Majesty?
Rasta around the world, you know. Rasta around the world. That's
world?
what they say.
Which world?
This world here.
Yes. So where is Imperial Majesty today?
Okay, let me ask another question because you know, the Rasta religion, is it really a relevant religion or is it something that was created because of this man and they're just treading water as far as their existence?
As far as I am concerned and from my research, the religion was created to basically thumb their nose at Catholicism.
Western religion.
Western religion. Because during slavery they used religion to basically hold down the people of darker hue, where they quoted a scripture where it says, slaves, obey your masters, and you should do what your master say. So they use this to basically hold black people into a situation where they believe, if they're Christians, that they should be enslaved. So these Rastas in the 30s became awakened to this reality and decide that they're going to shed this massive indoctrination, if you want to call it that. So they looked to Africa, and whilst looking in Africa, they saw this king, Prince Tafari. He became he ascended to the throne, I think, in
the Solomonic throne.
Solomon's throne. That's
the
what
Solomonic throne.
Yes, in 1936, and he took on these titles: Kings of Kings, Lord of Lords, Conquering Lion of Judah.
Himself.
Yes.
Yes.
So these titles, I believe, were given to Jesus Christ. So these Rastas basically says, yes, this is the return of the Messiah. I would more see him as a symbol of black liberalism or black emancipation with respect to how one think of religion and how they view themselves.
But he played the part very well in it.
Yes, he did.
Yes, he actually became a symbolic person to the movement.
But he did that because he wanted to unite the fronts in Ethiopia. I don't think he personally wanted to go out and
So you just
view himself as God, but he
brought leadership to our cause.
Yes, to the cause.
To the cause.
Yes.
So he expected that from this something bigger would come from actually our ascension into leadership then.
I don't think he fully saw that, but
No?
it evolved into that.
It evolved into that. So how did he become that religious symbol for them?
I don't think he himself is a very religious man. He was a Christian, but
He's an Orthodox.
Orthodox Christian.
Yeah, he's Orthodox.
But the Rastas in Jamaica and the Caribbean by extension, they basically fuse, or they had a mashup of the religion and pro-Africanism, if you want to call it that, and when you shake that up in a jar, that is what came out.
So, hold on for a second. So, did Rastafarianism came to being once they found out that Prince Tafari, Haile Selassi, was in Ethiopia, or it was just a bunch of people struggling to find a cause and then they leaned towards it?
Yeah, a little bit of both, but you have to bring Marcus Garvey into it. Marcus Garvey, in a poetry that he did, where he said that, look to the east, you will see the coming of a black king.
Okay.
Behold, behold. Yeah, Christ in his kingly character. So he prophesied that this King of Kings, Lord of Lords will come forth out of Africa. And in 1936, these Rastas saw this man coming out with all these titles.
That's Leonard Howard? What is it? What's that guy called? Leonard Howard?
Leonard Howell, I think.
Leonard Howard, yeah.
Howell.
Yeah.
He basically led the religious aspect of the...
So he identified this man as the man that Marcus Garvey was speaking of.
That prophesy about him, yes. In some circles, this might be seen as a farce, but as Bob once says, like, only time will tell. Only time will tell.
So is that movement still relevant today?
Yes, it is. In the sense that it gives people some level of self-assurance and self-empowerment. So, and Rastas, the whole life and the how they look at things, you know, it's very clean. You know, they're very they're people that believe in the naturalness of life. They are pro-environment. They are vegans. They don't believe in killing.
But what I'm trying to ask you here is that this repatriation of people from the darker youth from all over the world back to the motherland of Africa, is that still something that we as a nation should strive for based upon what they're trying to do at that point?
Well, I'm not going to tell a man what he should do, but he should take a pause and decide what he wants to do with his life.
Because I like North America, I like Canada. I'm not going anywhere, so you
You're
can
not
come
going
with your
back to Africa?
repatriation and all these nonsense that you're trying to force feed. I don't think
I
that...
wouldn't call the people's movement nonsense, but if you want to call it that, it's your prerogative. Each and every man has a right to decide his own destiny. So Rastas, if you want to go back to Africa,
Party run!
go to Africa.
Run! Take a
You want to
plane,
stay
take a
in North
boat.
America?
Go!
Stay in North America.
But I am satisfied here in Toronto, Canada. That's 5 minutes. Yes, knowledge base. We're gonna wrap the show today.
Yes, yes.
And it's a different kind of a show today.
Well, you know, we hit a few good points today. Some people may think it's Americanized, but it's basically out there for everyone. We answer the topics that are penetrating and probing your mind on a daily basis and what you want to know. So what I'd like you to do is to like, subscribe, share, you know, tell us your comments. Tell us what you feel about us. How do we dress? What do you like to say? Things like that. Tell us what you like.
Also, you know, if you've got questions that you want us to answer on the show or issues that you would like for us to deal with, we would be glad enough to deal with it for you because we're here to serve you.
You are our fans. You need to tell us. Tell us what you want. What you want is what we'll give you.
Straight. And all the issues and questions, we will deal with them. So thank you for watching 5 Minutes and Cut. Peace out.